You see it clear as day. Your kid has a friend who's dragging them down. Maybe it's the kid who's always in trouble, the one who talks them into stupid decisions, the one who mocks everything your kid cares about, the one who takes, and never gives anything. You watch your teenager change around this person, dimming their light, adopting new attitudes, making choices they wouldn't normally make, and every instinct in your body is screaming, get away from that person. But you can't say it because the second you do, the second those words leave your mouth, you become the enemy. And that friendship, it becomes sacred, untouchable, the hill your child will die on. Not because the friend is actually good for them, but because you said they weren't. So you're stuck. Watching someone poison your kid and you can't do a damn thing about it. Or can you? First, let's talk about why teenagers choose these friendships in the first place, because it's not random. Your kid isn't stupid. They know this person isn't good for them. On some level, they know. But they're choosing them anyway. Why? Because bad friends offer something your kid desperately needs right now: acceptance without conditions. That friend doesn't care if your kid is a mess, doesn't care if they're confused, doesn't care if they're figuring things out. They just accept him. And right now, when your teenager feels like they're failing at everything, when they're not sure who they are, when they feel like they're disappointing everyone, that unconditional acceptance feels like oxygen, even if it's toxic, even if it's a trap. It feels better than being alone. Here's the other thing. Sometimes your teenager chooses the broken friend because they're trying to fix them. They see someone who's hurting and they think, maybe I can help. Maybe I can be the one who saves them. It's noble, it's compassionate, and it's dangerous, because you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved, and trying to do it will drown you both. So here's what doesn't work: telling them directly that the friend is bad. The second you say, that kid is trouble, unless they're younger and they still believe you, and the second you say, that kid's using you, I don't want you hanging out with him anymore, you've just made that friendship the most important thing in your teenager's life, because now it's not about the friend, it's about autonomy. It's about, you can't control me, and they will defend that friend to the death. Not because they love them, but because losing them would mean you were right, and they can't give you that. Forbidding the friendship also doesn't work, because teenagers are experts at finding ways around rules. They'll just see the friend at school, text him secretly, lie about where they're going, and now you've lost visibility and trust. Trying to logic them out of it doesn't work either. You can't reason someone out of a friendship they didn't reason themselves into. This friendship isn't about logic, it's about need, and the need doesn't care about your carefully constructed arguments. So what do? You play the long game and you get strategic. Step 1. Don't make the friend the enemy. Instead of attacking the friend directly, you observe out loud, neutrally. I noticed when you're around them you seem different. I noticed you stopped doing whatever it is that they love since you started hanging out with them. I noticed they don't seem to celebrate you when good things happen. Not accusations, just observations. Plant seeds, let them sit. Step 2. Make your home the better option. If you want them to spend less time with that friend, make your house more appealing than wherever it is that they're going. Not by bribing them, by creating an environment where they actually want to be. where their friend or their friends, the good ones, want to hang out, where there's food, freedom, and zero interrogation. You want visibility? Make your home the spot. Step 3, strengthen the other friendships. Don't focus on eliminating the bad friend. Focus on amplifying the good ones. Invite the solid kids over. Create opportunities for your teen to spend time with people who lift them up. Good friends don't push out bad ones through force. They crowd them out naturally. Step 4, stay close without controlling. This is the hardest part. You have to let them keep the friendship, but you also have to stay involved enough to catch them if they fall. That means asking questions without judgment, staying curious instead of accusatory, being the person they can come to when things go wrong without saying, "I told you so." Because here's the truth. That bad friendship, it's probably going to blow up on its own. Bad friends self-destruct. They betray. They move on. They show their true colors eventually. And when that happens, your kid is going to need someone who didn't spend months saying, "I knew they were bad." They need someone who says, "I'm sorry that this happened. That must hurt. We all go through this. At least we now know what type of person to avoid." You can just be that person. Here's what this teen thing is really teaching your kid. How to recognize red flags. How to trust their instincts. How to walk away from something that doesn't serve them. But they can't learn those lessons if you do all of the discernment for them. If you cut out every toxic person before they experience the toxicity, they never develop the radar. They never learn to identify manipulation, one-sidedness, or exploitation on their own. And then they grow into adults who keep choosing the wrong people because no one taught them how to see it coming. So as much as it kills you, as much as you want to protect them from this pain, sometimes the bad friend is the teacher, and you have to let the lesson happen. Not from a distance, but from close enough to catch them when it falls apart. Now, there is a difference between a bad friend and a dangerous one. If the person is involving your kid in illegal activity, if there's substance abuse that's escalating, if you're seeing signs of real harm, then yes, you intervene. You pull them out. You do what you have to do because sometimes there's no coming back. But for the garden variety toxic friend, the one who's just immature, selfish, or a bad influence, you play the long game. You stay close. You observe, you plant seeds, and you trust that your kid is smarter than you think. They'll figure it out. Maybe not today, maybe not this week, but eventually. And when they do, when they walk away from that friendship on their own terms, when they say, "I realized they just weren't good for me," that's worth more than you cutting them out ever could have been. Because they didn't just lose a bad friend, they learned how to choose better ones. And that's a skill they'll use for the rest of their life. Look, watching your kid choose the wrong people is one of the hardest things you'll do as a parent. Because you can see the damage. You can see where it's headed, and you feel powerless to stop it. But you're not powerless. You just have to stop trying to control it and start influencing it through observation, not accusation, through strengthening the good, not just eliminating the bad, through staying close enough to guide them without pushing them away. It's a narrow line, and most parents don't know how to walk it. If you're in this right now, if you're watching your kid drift towards someone who's pulling them down and you need the framework for how to handle it without making it worse, the link is below. What They're Not Saying Teens will show you how to navigate this without losing your kid in the process. Let's do this. I'll see you on the inside.